So how do you redeem yourself when you overcook some eggs in front of all of Blackstone's Griddle pros and Griddle crew? Maybe make the world's largest egg? So this cook is going to require a little bit of background knowledge. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video just so that we could tell the story and everything. But it's worth it, so just stick with me. So last year at the Griddle Crew Social Summit hosted by Blackstone, I got partnered up with Ryan Hoogland from Barbecue Blackstone and Beer, and we did the Griddle Crew Throwdown together, where we decided to make like a breakfast hash.
All right, Greenlee. I'm sensing the tension in the room is growing.
Not with me.
Who are you worried about that might be someone who could be a contender for you?
Nobody.
Oh.
No one? Nobody.
Not a single person.
I guess no tension over here. Oh, he's got this.
We got this.
We got the eggs. We got the eggs. We got the eggs. We got the eggs.
And we cooked some eggs that put on top, and we tried to make those eggs a little over easy because we wanted runny eggs on our hash. Well, in the process of cooking those eggs, CJ came over and informed us that he doesn't like runny eggs.
Oh.
Yeah. What are we checking, folks? How we doing?
We're doing good. Gonna have a nice breakfast. Do you like a runny egg?
I do not like a runny egg. I do not like a runny egg. I do not like a runny egg.
Overcooked one.
And being that he is one of the judges, we wanted to make sure that we cooked an egg to his liking so that he would appreciate the dish that we made. Well, we cooked one egg a little bit longer than the other eggs, right? That was CJ's egg. We even placed it in a specific corner so that we could identify it, because we thought we were going to be able to present our dish to all of the judges, and we would be able to point out this egg is made specially for CJ because we cooked it a little longer so it wasn't runny. Well, it turns out we did not get to present our dish. We were dismissed from the cooking area, and our dish had to speak for itself. So the Griddle pros came over to judge our dish, and well, I'm going to show you what happened.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up, hands up. I'll come back to that. Dude, now we've got a basic hash. Let's see how basic it is, though, because it is beautiful.
Those eggs look good.
They do. Leave it in the comments. Runny yolk or not. I'm not really a runny yolk kind of guy, and they actually asked to see what my preference was. Whoa.
Does that give them extra points?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh.
Oh.
Man down.
Yeah.
I do wish that the eggs were still a little bit more runny.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of runny and then not runny.
So we were worried about them. 10 minutes ago they were doing these eggs.
This one's runny.
They came back and they started doing another one.
I'm going for second, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, you see.
This is the one I was worried about with those eggs.
Yeah.
Some eggs are runny, some aren't.
Yep. We
So,
were worried about it 10 minutes ago.
This is different. That right there, that's what happens. They were perfect. I saw them when they came off. They were perfect. 10 minutes ago. They were perfect. 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago.
So I don't know if you noticed. First off, they all ate from CJ's overcooked egg, right? Even Betty went over there and cut into another egg and pointed out, look, this one's runny. It was cooked right. Anyway, we got dinged on that contest, and we basically lost because they said that we had overcooked the eggs. And then you have Nate with his Nate face calling out that these eggs would have been perfect 10 minutes ago. So fast forward to this year. So Ryan and I decided that we needed a redemption. We needed to prove that we knew how to cook eggs, and that not only were those eggs perfect, but we could cook them again perfectly. We even had these shirts made specifically for this redemption, right? My lovely wife, Justine, made these shirts for us. I'm wearing one of them right here. And so to kind of acknowledge what had happened in that first year, the shirt across the top says Team Egg Redemption. And across the bottom we have that quote from Nate that says, "Those eggs were perfect." And then I'm going to try to show you the back here. So there's Nate's face, and it says 10 minutes ago. So obviously we had kind of taken to heart that Nate said that we had overcooked our eggs by about 10 minutes. And we knew that wasn't true, and we wanted to prove to him we knew how to cook eggs.
Yeah, the app they nailed. Because it's just like change the color and dip it from the app. Oh, perfect. No, it was Facebook and Instagram. No, did I see what's the top team?
Oh, dude, those are awesome. Why do you have CJ's face on there, though?
Whatever. Because that's your quote right there.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's so gold, bro.
Okay.
You do the back.
Lenses too. And then when I put that on, it actually
2 minutes ago. She did.
Really?
But we decided to go big or go home. And we wanted to do like a showstopper meal. And so since we got to partner up and do a cook again, we decided to make an ostrich egg. The reality is, if we're going to wear shirts like this, the pressure is on, right? Here we are walking out with these shirts on for our egg redemption cook in front of everybody. If we mess this up now and we overcook this egg, it's all over. We would never live it down. So we ordered this ostrich egg, we had it delivered to the social summit.
Yes. Man, they really put a lot of thought into this.
We're not bitter about it.
I was going to say that's wrapped in a diaper.
It is. Yeah.
Whoa.
Right way to do it. So we're redoing it. We use ostrich egg. We use a prototype of consumption. Thinking about like right here.
You only have one?
And we also decided that in order to make this dish a showstopper, not only are we going to make the biggest over easy egg cooked perfectly, but we also need to make a big presentation out of it. And we thought, what better presentation than a big steak and egg, right? So we went out and found a tomahawk steak, the biggest one we could find, and we cooked that up on the griddle as well. So for the tomahawk steak, we basically seasoned it up really good on all sides, including those edges, because this is a really thick piece of meat, so you want to get those edges. We seasoned it up with Blackstone's all-purpose seasoning. We coated that really good with that all-purpose seasoning. We then put a metal rack down on the griddle and turned the griddle up to medium-high heat, okay? And we set that steak on that rack so that it wasn't in direct contact with the hot griddle. We wanted to kind of keep it up off the heat a little bit because we kind of want to slow cook. We're going to reverse sear this steak. And so we covered it up with a dome so that it would kind of hold that heat in and kind of create like an oven atmosphere. And then we left that sit on the griddle.
Honestly, like toast mode at this point with that giant egg, but
You're killing it.
yeah.
Being that this is a very thick piece of meat, it needed some time. So it cooked for probably about 20 minutes, maybe close to 30 minutes on this griddle. So we're constantly checking it, looking at it, checking that temperature. Our goal with the temperature was about 125 degrees. Once we achieved that 125 degrees, we would know that the steak was cooked perfectly and we could go ahead and sear it on the hot griddle. So what we did is we kept it domed on the griddle, we flipped it a couple times, and it sat there for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then when we checked it and the temperature was just right, we pulled it off of that rack and went ahead and threw it down on the hot griddle with some oil and let it get a good sear on all sides. At this point, you could take that steak off and let it rest. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the egg. So we thought we were going to be so big and bad getting this ostrich egg, and it was going to be so easy, and we were just going to cook this egg perfectly. So first off, I don't know if you know much about ostrich eggs. Ostrich eggs, first off, are big. They equal about 2 dozen eggs, and they are extremely difficult to actually get out of that shell. We did not want a giant scrambled egg here, because we could do that with regular eggs. We wanted that over easy, perfect egg with the soft, runny yolk in the middle. And so that's really hard to do because the shell is so thick. So Ryan had the pleasure of breaking this egg open. And so we just used the back of a knife and kind of cracked into the top, and we just went around a circle around the top to try to break into it. So little did we know is that that shell is very, very thick, very, very hard to break into, and so you have to be really careful to hit it hard enough to break the shell, but not so hard that you're going to break the yolk inside of the egg. You had to break it just right. We were informed as we were doing this that Nate has cooked ostrich eggs before, and he actually, according to CJ, has messed up his ostrich egg 3 times.
Nate messed it up 3 times.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah.
Dang, everybody confirmed that for us.
And it's an expensive
The
mess up.
size of that thing.
Yes, we're aware.
Hey, if not, we're gonna have some killer scrambled eggs.
It took him 3 times to break it open without breaking the yolk. So CJ was making a big deal about watching us screw this up.
Come watch Ryan mess up the biggest egg.
Let's go, egg guy.
I'm supposed to have my vodka.
Because here we had one chance to make this one egg just right, and here we are trying to redeem ourselves with this egg. And we get this one chance, and CJ's like, Nate screwed this up 3 times before he got it right. And so we were a little nervous, okay?
Hey Ryan, there's no pressure just because everybody's watching.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
No, I know. Thanks for like showing us even more.
Everybody is watching for the egg redemption.
Hey, get on
Run!
Really great.
What's this about?
Nate, no cheating.
His lip.
We believe in you, buddy.
Think that hole's a little too big?
Huh?
No, I'm kidding. Just keep going. And that's his cooking part.
Right.
His eyes started blowing up.
Crazy how hard it is, right?
It is.
It's like glass.
Don't bust through that membrane.
Bust it.
So anyway, Ryan did a great job breaking into that egg. He got the shell off the top. And then inside the egg, there is that membrane. I don't know if you are aware that eggs all have a membrane inside the shell. In a chicken egg, the membrane is super, super thin, so you may not have even ever noticed that it's there. But this membrane is much, much thicker. In fact, it's so thick, it's almost like a rubber glove, okay? And so when you pull that shell off, you see that there's this membrane sitting on top, and we had to tear that membrane apart, cut into it and tear it apart and kind of open it up so that we could get to the egg on the inside.
Yolk's right there at the top.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for pointing that out.
You're welcome.
Now the yolk in here was huge, and it's floating right there up at the top. And so we have to be really careful because we now have to pour this egg into the pan and not break the yolk. And pouring the egg is really hard because we have to pour it out of this top with all the jagged edges from the shell that we had just broken open. Okay, so we had one shot to get this right, to pour the egg out into the pan and not break the yolk.
Nacho Libre. Throw it directly to the griddle?
No, into the pan.
Right.
Do it like Rocky does.
Yeah, that's a good protein there, buddy.
Gotta commit. Hey, now while it's still there, move it to the center. You can center it out, but you got to do it gently. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, there you go.
A dozen eggs and one egg.
They said 20.
It might work a little better when it starts to cook, as it starts to slightly cook.
It's close to the middle.
Yeah,
That's
it
pretty
is.
good.
It is. If you need to move it, you can, but that looks awesome.
We'll
Great
come back
job,
and
dude.
check to see how this cooks.
All right, so the first
Never
try.
doubted you for a minute, bro.
First
Never
try.
doubted you for a minute.
I heard Nate took 3.
Yeah. And it only took Nate 3 times to do it.
As you can see, we were successful. Ryan did an excellent job getting that egg open and getting that egg poured out into the pan and not breaking that yolk. I can't believe we did this on the first try. Anyway, now the only challenge left is, can we cook this egg perfectly?
Woosah.
Now you just have to not overcook it.
Again, we have to cook it so that we're trying to redeem ourselves that we could cook eggs and not overcook them, and that it would have that perfect runny yolk. And so we have to cook this egg, and we've never cooked an ostrich egg before. It does not cook at the same speed or same temperature as a regular egg, right? So this egg actually took about 20 minutes to cook on this pan. So we had to really monitor it. I lightly oiled the pan so that it wouldn't stick and it would kind of get that fried, crispy texture on the whites there. And then we put it on the griddle. We left the griddle down to about medium because we didn't want it to heat up too fast. In fact, I think we were closer to medium low because we didn't want it to heat up too fast. So we left it on there. We put a lid on our pan so that it would kind of steam the top of the egg. So we didn't have to attempt to flip this thing or anything like that. We didn't want to have to do that. So we wanted that lid on top so that the steam from the egg would come up and kind of cook the top at the same time as well as cooking the bottom. So after about 20 minutes, we realized, okay, this thing is cooked. The whites are cooked. The yolk is perfect, but we got to get it off the heat or it's going to keep cooking in this pan. Okay, so now it's time to transfer this egg from the pan with its very delicate runny yolk. We don't want to break that yolk open, and we have to move it from that pan onto our serving platter. So this is our last major challenge of this egg to make sure that it's done perfectly.
Careful.
Careful.
It's soft. You got this.
I think it's just gotta go, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just need to get it started
gotta
and then
commit.
just let it slide. Don't try to force it with the spatula. You got it, you got it.
Oh!
My goodness.
Again, Ryan nailed it, got it out there perfect. So let's talk about the rest of the platter. So we already had that tomahawk steak that we had made. It had rested for about 10-15 minutes while the egg was cooking, and we were able to carve that up and chop it up into small pieces. In the meantime, I also had made, while the egg was cooking, a chimichurri sauce. I just used some parsley, some garlic, some lemon juice, a little bit of seasonings. I'll leave the recipe in the description below for you to check out. So I made that chimichurri sauce. We're going to just put that right on top of that steak. So we put the slices of steak around the egg on the platter, put that chimichurri sauce across the top of those steak pieces just to give it a little bit of color, give it a little bit of a bite from that fresh parsley. And then we took a piece of ciabatta bread, and we cut that in half and we toasted it up. I actually coated the inside of the bread after cutting it in half with some olive oil, and I chopped up and minced some fresh garlic and kind of smashed it into a paste with my knife, and then spread that across the bread and then toasted it on the griddle so that you had kind of a nice little ciabatta crostini that had that garlicky flavor to it. And then we cut that up in small pieces. What we had intended is that you would take a piece of ciabatta bread, put a piece of steak on it with that chimichurri on top, and then you would take that and dip it directly into that perfectly cooked runny yolk from that ostrich egg. And it would be like this perfect bite. So here is how that went.
Yeah! Hello. Not at all.
So if you've never had an ostrich egg before, it's like custard. Look at this. Velvety, gorgeous.
Redemption.
Stunning. And then I'm gonna get some of that too with the chimney. Steak. Perfect egg. Perfect egg. Nailed it.
Redemption.
Yeah. I don't appreciate how angry I look on the back of your face.
I don't think you were angry. It's more, I think I was.
It's an 8 face. You know.
It's an 8 face.
Oh, I'm not double dipping, I'm switching. That's totally what that face looks like it sounds like.
Alright, we gotta get in there.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, chimichurri is really good.
Thank you.
Oh, garlic.
It's just dripping.
Am I dripping? Can I make this 6?
Good luck.
I lost the
It's egg.
Cheers.
Okay, good. That's amazingly good.
It's like custard, right? It's so thick and creamy. I didn't even get into those. Should we explain?
Yes.
How delicate. Dude, you crushed it.
I wasn't nervous
Redemption.
at all. I'm just saying.
So you can see it was a big success. Everybody loved our egg. It was a showstopper just like we had hoped. Everybody gathered around and got to try a little bit of this ostrich egg. It was my first time eating an ostrich egg. It was also my first time cooking a tomahawk steak on the griddle. Two things that I've always wanted to do, but never really had the opportunity. And here I had the opportunity to do both those things here at the Griddle Crew Social Summit. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. It made this beautiful platter, and I really loved the fact that I had the opportunity to make it. So once again, I thank Blackstone for bringing us all out for that social summit. I want to give Ryan all the credit. Ryan really redeemed himself with his eggs. I don't know if you know, Ryan gets kind of a hard time because he seems to cook eggs all the time just because most of the videos he posts are him cooking breakfast. And Ryan really did a nice job breaking that egg open, getting it perfectly cooked. He was the star of the show with making that egg just right. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was a little bit longer, but it's worth it to tell this story and to just kind of share this experience with you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more recipes like this. Until next time, thanks for watching.